Tonight, although COVID case numbers are on the decline in AthensClarke County, some northeast levels of transmission. Then, new changes to Georgia election laws cause controversy around the state. Later, a look into the special election for mayor taking place in Watkinsville. All of this and more coming up on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I am Southern Brit and welcome to Grady Newsource. We begin with our top story. Positive COVID-19 cases continue to decline in Clarke County. Grady Newsource reporter Zach Miles is live from the University of Georgia Health Center. Zach, is this a common trend throughout Northeast Georgia?
Thank you so much, Southern. Great question, but that's actually not the case throughout Northeast Georgia. The Georgia Department of Public Health just released their new numbers, and AthensClarke County actually has the lowest 14-day % positivity rate change among positive COVID-19 cases. That's actually only for the surrounding 6 Northeast Georgia counties. As you can see from the graphic, Clarke County only has a 3.5% positivity rate over the most recent 14-day period. Madison County is the only other county in the green zone with a 4.3% positivity rate. The remaining 4 counties are all in the quote yellow zone, meaning they have a PCR positivity rate between 5 and 10%. Despite Clarke County having the lowest 14-day positivity rate, the CDC still labels Clarke County as a quote substantial county along with Oglethorpe County. According to its weekly county-by-county COVID-19 data tracker, Barrow, Jackson, and Oconee counties are all classified at high levels of transmission. High is the worst of the 4 levels, followed by substantial, then moderate, and low being the last level. Madison County was classified as a moderate county. Dr. James Rogan, a family practitioner, believes that more people need to receive PCR tests and/or COVID-19 rapid tests to ensure better data. He alluded to the fact that positivity rates will naturally decline as less people get tested. The CDC classifies these counties based on the number of new cases per 100,000 people, in addition to the percentage of positive tests over the 1-week period. Now I'm live here at the University of Georgia Health Center in AthensClarke County. This is one of many vaccination sites throughout AthensClarke County, trying to keep those statistics low. That's all I have here. I'm Zach Miles. Back to you, Southern.
Thank you, Zach. This past Thursday, Governor Brian Kemp signed Senate Bill 202 into law, which includes a massive slew of new election rules. Grady Newsource reporter Xavier Hood with more on the public's reaction and what this could mean for future elections.
Georgia Senate Bill 202 has sparked commotion among residents and local leaders questioning the motives behind the restrictions. The bill was passed by the Republican-controlled state legislature and signed by Governor Brian Kemp, and it looks to make pivotal changes to future elections. Key changes are being made to absentee voting, early voting, and vote counting. Governor Kemp said in a speech after signing the bill, "Ensuring the integrity of the ballot box isn't partisan. It's about protecting the very foundation of who we are as Georgians and Americans. Local government officials understand the new rules and are already taking action. Charlotte Sosby, Director of Election and Voter Registration for AthensClarke County, explained some steps being taken already to implement these new rules.
And do our best with educating our voters and making sure they know the deadlines and the new guidelines as it relates to this Senate bill.
The new law sparks controversy with some, claiming that it disproportionately affects specific voting populations like African Americans and other minorities. Local leaders have partnered with organizations to rally and protest the new law. District 8 Commissioner Carol Myers of AthensClarke County is one of those leaders who oppose the new law.
Because it just seems like we're just turning the pages back in history and getting it. To me, it just seems like it's a reaction to our wins in the presidential election and then to the U.S. Senate, elections as well.
Governor Kemp dispels the claims of the new law being Jim Crow and remains firm in his decision. This is Xavier Hood, Grady Newsource.
Thank you. As the weather gets warmer, more people will be outside. Grady Newsource reporter Madison Castle tells us about how Jackson County is inspiring residents to keep their community beautiful through a new event.
Jackson County's Public Development Office announced the Keep Jackson County Beautiful Spring into Recycling event, taking place April 24th. Residents and community members can bring e-waste, including old computers and printers, batteries, flash bulbs, and even paint. A unique addition to the initiative is their drug take-back program in their partnership with Jackson County Sheriff's Office. To avoid water contamination, anyone with unused or old drugs can bring them to this event to be safely recycled.
We take anything. We have a drug drop box at the sheriff's office, but on Keep Jackson County Beautiful, there'll be an investigator there taking up the medication.
The drug take-back program is targeted towards recycling pills and opioids, but the sheriff's office takes other substances in their personal drug drop box, which is anonymous.
A lot of times we find people that have been maybe terminally ill and they have passed on. They have a lot of medicine left over, and it's usually, any kind of medication that they might have that they need to dispose of.
Community members can recycle more difficult items that usually cannot go in your recycling bin at home. For more information, go to the Jackson County website under Keep Jackson County Beautiful. I'm Madison Castle with Grady Newsource.
State employees might have a reason to celebrate as the Georgia Senate unanimously passed a bill that would grant paid parental leave. House Bill 146 offers 3 weeks of paid parental leave for state employees, including K through 12 teachers. Some of the qualifying life events include the birth of a child of an eligible employee, the placement of a minor child for adoption with an eligible employee, or the placement of a minor child in foster care with an eligible employee. The bill now returns to the House, where it is expected to pass after House leaders approved the initial bill in February with a 155-2 vote. A recent study shows a connection between a rise in childhood obesity since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Grady Newsource reporter Jayla Johnson has more on the results and how to combat this issue.
A recent study from the National Center for Biotechnology Information shows there has been an increase in childhood obesity since the start of the pandemic. The study attributes this to 3 factors: lack of physical activity, stress, and access to healthy foods. Brittany Rogers, a pediatric nurse practitioner for Athens Neighborhood Health Center, says she has observed this through her wellness checkups with students.
The majority of the school kids that I have seen have all complained a lot about being a lot more sedentary in the last year since they've been out of school. Kind of when talking about exercise and diet, a lot of them are stuck in front of a computer, so they're really not able to get up and move around. Even though they do have scheduled breaks, it's not the same as being at school. And
Rogers also says that food insecurity played a major role in this change, which is a big issue in the Athens area. A recent study shows that food insecurity increased from 32.6% to 36% during March to July 2020. To address this issue, AthensClarke County Schools launched a fresh fruits and vegetables program this semester, funded by a grant through the USDA, in addition to their weekly food pickup locations for students in need of breakfast and lunch. Rogers says for those who have trouble accessing these locations,
there are a few steps students can take from at home.
They have to be online for school, that they should limit their extracurricular screen time use to no more than an hour a day.
Rogers also suggests taking a stretch break every 45 minutes to an hour and completing 30 minutes to an hour of rigorous exercise such as jump roping, walking, or biking. Jayla Johnson, Grady Newsource.
On a different note, college decisions are rolling out now. Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Green looks at how local high school counselors are preparing their students for the changes in the application process this year.
Holistic method of admitting is changing the game, and I think it's opening things up for kids that are incredibly deserving, and they can be more than just a number.
The highly anticipated college decision letters have begun to arrive for many Jackson County seniors. The application process looked a little different this year, as some colleges did not require their traditional SAT and ACT testing scores. Guidance counselors at the county high schools say they noticed students taking advantage of this change and applying to schools that might not have been on their list otherwise.
And they were confident in their extracurriculars, but they didn't test well. They struggle with that standardized testing, and so they're more comfortable applying to those bigger schools because they know that's not kind of the be-all, the end-all.
While this change may have been beneficial to students with many extracurriculars or high grades, some students were banking on standing out through standardized testing.
So for a kid like that can seem hurtful because you've worked to get this score and though you don't get to use it. But I wrote his letter of recommendations where in every other sentence I stated, his high test scores.
Jackson County counselors created initiatives like Apply to College Week to encourage students to go the extra mile when applying this year. JCHS senior Nate McKinney says he tried to focus more on his essays and extracurricular activities when applying to schools.
I think if it was a normal year, I don't know if I would apply to UGA because those prestigious schools, they have a name to them that you need to have those good grades and good scores. And if you don't have them, you're not getting in.
So far, counselors report high acceptance rates to schools like UGA, Emory, Georgia Tech, MIT, and UCLA. Jessica Green, Grady Newsource.
Clarke County Schools hosted a virtual Youth Art Month exhibition as a part of Youth Art Month. Pieces in the show feature students in kindergarten through high school for the school district. To watch, visit Clarke County School District's virtual Youth Art Month exhibition on their site. The Zeta Psi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority held a virtual art show to collect funds for the Sparrow's Nest, a Christian ministry center for those in need here in Athens. The sorority's virtual art show featured various artists gifted in style arts, graphic design, performance arts, drawing, and painting. Zeta Psi's initial goal was $500, but has since raised nearly $2,500. They will still continue to collect donations until this Friday, April 2nd. For more information, visit Zeta Psi's Instagram page. Coming up, how the mayor's resignation is shaping up in Watkinsville and which longtime councilman has his eye on the seat.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
Na 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 na. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Living in Watkinsville? Mark your calendars for a special election date, June 15th. Grady Newsource reporter Lauren Swinson shares more on what to expect.
I think if we have been wearing masks, people will see our jaws at the pool.
12 days ago, Watkinsville Mayor Bob Smith resigned and walked out of the City Hall here behind me, leaving an election to be had. After Smith walked out of City Hall, Post 1 councilman of 17 years, Brian Broderick, was unanimously appointed as the acting mayor, a position he now hopes to make official after a special election on June 15th. When initially asked about the possibility of running, Broderick still had to talk it through with his family.
You know, I've thought about it, but I haven't made any sort of decision like that. Obviously, we need to talk to my family and understand a little bit more about what the process looks like.
Now, Broderick has announced that he plans to run for mayor during the special election and will serve the rest of the unexpired term through the end of this year. The special election will occur on June 15th, but in order to cast your vote, you need to be registered by May 17th. With Broderick running for the mayor's office, his former Post 1 seat will be open for the first time since 2004. Both of these unexpired terms end in December, and the seats will be open once again in the regular November election. I'm Lauren Swinson, Grady Newsource.
The Food Bank of Northeast Georgia's mobile pantry will make its way to Athens this Wednesday to provide fresh food for families in need. The mobile pantry provides hundreds of Northeast Georgia families with perishable and non-perishable foods each time it hits the road. On Wednesday, the mobile pantry will distribute food drive-through style at 865 Sunset Drive. Food will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis from 2 to 4:30 p.m. or until everything is gone. Today has been a gorgeous day here in Athens, Georgia. And when we return, we'll check in with Grady Newsource Alex English to see how much longer that'll last.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
And now, the weather.
Today has been a sunny day in Athens after a weekend of on and off rainstorms. Let's take a look at your weather to find out what else this week has in store.
I'm Alex English with your Northeast Georgia weather report. In Athens this week, a brief return to the sunshine today, but we'll have to sit through a few more rainy days before it comes back out again. Tomorrow, Athenians can expect partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the high 60s and a 30% chance of rain in the late afternoon. Wednesday, be ready for thunderstorms all day long as temperatures peak at 73 degrees and drop to an evening low 40. The sun won't be gone too much longer though, as Thursday and Friday will have clear skies and a bit cooler weather in the mid to high 50s. This evening projects clear skies, lows around 44 degrees, while tomorrow evening, mostly cloudy with a high chance of showers and possible thunderstorms after 5 in the afternoon. After thunderstorms all day long on Wednesday, skies should clear up on Thursday with temperatures cooling down to the mid-50s and lows around 30 degrees. Because of the recent storms we've seen this week, tree pollen count has been higher in the area. Spring storms bring out even more tree pollen outside the usual peak pollen hours of 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. So if you're spending a lot of time outdoors this week and want to take extra pollen precautions, the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America suggests shampooing daily, washing your bedding once a week, keeping your windows closed, using central air conditioning, and removing your shoes before walking through your house. Try to stay dry this week and minimize pollen exposure where you can. For Grady Newsource, Alex English reporting.
And next in sports, the latest on George Pickens and his ACL injury. Will he be returning to the field this season? Reaction from Coach Smart and more next.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Can we get strawberries?
Okay.
And now, sports.
Georgia football fans are worried about the team's offense after offensive player George Pickens hurt his ACL in practice this week. Coach Kirby Smart, though, says he hopes to have Pickens back on the field for this season.
Honestly, I think there's a chance he's back in 21. I mean, we've had kids that have ACL injuries. All that's going to be dictated by Ryan. We're not concerned with that right now. What we're concerned with a great surgery and a great rehab.
In other news, North Oconee High School's gymnastics team is moving into this week with a new title, #1 in the state. The team was celebrating their new title on Twitter over the weekend. They also have other reasons to celebrate as they won their match on Saturday. They still have one more home regular season match this season that will be on April 10th. And March Madness is in full swing, and if you missed a Sweet 16 over the weekend, you missed some good games. But tonight, the Elite Eight starts. The first game starts at 7:15, and we have Oregon State versus Houston. Then at 9:57, Arkansas versus Baylor. They will take the court. Then it should be some good games. And of course, we'll have a full wrap-up of the March Madness on Wednesday's show. For now, though, for Grady Sports, I'm Jared Eggleston.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The University of Georgia introduced a new award to recognize students whose efforts are enhancing Greek inclusiveness. Grady Newsource reporter Jillian McIntyre will tell us about students making a change at UGA.
This award will honor students who have worked to create a more diverse learning environment within Greek organizations at UGA. UGA President Jerry Moorhead, the university's Infraternity Council, and Zeta Psi chapter have all donated to allow 4 awards to be given each year. Jennifer Richardson has been the advisor for the Zeta Psi chapter for 30 years now. Richardson thinks these awards will significantly impact the UGA community as long as people are willing and open to listen.
Hopefully we can have some conversations around the table to talk about things that will help students to feel more inclusive and comfortable about things that are happening at the University of Georgia. With this being a PWI, predominantly white institute.
The racial composition of Georgia differs from UGA. The state of Georgia has a 32.6% black population, while the university is only 5.24% black. Richardson says she has already seen minority students and alumni become more involved recently. She believes UGA has made strides in becoming more inclusive and diverse. She says that UGA's efforts could also inspire other universities.
As long as we stay in the forefront, UGA continues to release statements, articles that are continuously keeping us in the forefront of what we're doing at the university. And if people, continue to see that, I think that it's going to make a huge difference and encourage others to give back to their institutes as well.
For Grady Newsource, Jillian McIntyre.
Thank you for tuning in to Grady Newsource. I'm Southern Brit. Have a great night.
Source is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.